Hello, and welcome to The Mind of a Therapist, a podcast where we interview psychotherapists and helping professionals what they are passionate about in order to provide you with messages of encouragement and hope. The Mind of a Therapist is sponsored by Psychological Counseling Services, PCS, Healing Hearts and Transforming Lives. Please look into our intensive program at pcsintensive.com. I am Dr. Marcus Earle, the Clinical Director of PCS. Each episode will be hosted by me or another PCS therapist. Please enjoy the following discussion. Hello, I'm Dr. Marcus Earle, your host today for Mind of a Therapist. I'm sitting across from Cristine. And why don't we start with you introducing yourself, which I'm looking forward to since we've had such an entertaining time leading up to this.
Hi, I'm Cristine Toel. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. So that was specific and concrete. We'll let you into this as we go as to what's going on. And so, what I start with is like, what drew you into this field? So what are the things that you think caught your interest in being a therapist?
I guess I think I've always been a therapist my whole life. People will just come and ask me for help all the time. And I was always somebody who would just, come in and, offer support and advice. So that's the boring answer.
Yeah.
So when I was 16, I went to New York with this woman who worked with my dad. She wanted someone to come and, be a companion for her. She had an only child. And so we went to New York and we saw my first Broadway show and we saw Dreamgirls and it was awesome. And we ended up walking around and found the psychic. And I was 16 and I was doing a lot of plays and theater at the time. So she was doing like this, I don't know if it was palms or tarot, whatever it was. And she was like, you're going to be a healer someday. And I was really bummed out about it because I was like, no, I want to be an actor. I want to, go do that. And she said, well, you're going to mess around with that for a while, but you're going to end up being a healer. And so I forgot about it. When I got into this field, it was really about, kind of a second chapter in my life. And going back to graduate school, I had 2 kids at the time. I had just, gotten married. So we blended a family of 5 kids. And it was just really kind of a new beginning in my life. And it came back to me later on, like, oh, wow, she said I was going to be a healer. And
she called
here
it.
I am.
Yeah. I love that.
So maybe it was meant to be. I don't know.
Well, evidently.
Yeah.
It certainly feels that way. So that's great.
Yeah.
So the things, as you've been doing the work, what are you enjoying the most about what you do?
Well, I enjoy working here. Not that I don't enjoy my private clients who come in, but I really love being here because I think it suits my personality, which is, I think when I meet people, I have a sense of deeper history, what's going on, what they haven't tapped into, what they haven't, allowed themselves to really go after. And I like to go as deep as possible. And so I have the ability to do that here in ways that I don't think I necessarily get to do with people who come in weekly. It takes longer.
Right.
And so I have to really pace myself and have patience. But when someone's here for intensive, just that word intensive, I'm like, yes, I get to do what I think I'm really skilled at, which is carry really heavy, difficult parts of people's story and parts of people's lives and help them heal that. And that's what I really love to do. I feel like I've lived a very, rich life and I've seen a lot and I've been through a lot. So I can carry a heavy stories and I don't know, I just really enjoy that.
Yeah. There is something powerful about that where we can sit with somebody and know that we've been through, and that's prepared us in a sense, sit with other people's stories.
Yeah.
And you do that exceptionally well. That certainly is what I hear about you is that, and your ability to press.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're here, now we're paying attention to it. Let's do something with this.
Yeah.
And that's cool. How would you describe the do something, of your work? This may be the broad question that you were.
What does that mean? Describe the do something.
Well, it was my word. I was trying to move into it. But like, how would you describe what you do?
Oh gosh. I don't know what that means. I'm just going to ask, what does that mean?
Yeah. Well, what it means to me is like when you're sitting with somebody, what do you think you're trying to accomplish, and how do you go about the work?
Well, first I'm listening to see what they want. So what is the goal?
Yeah.
And then what's blocking you from getting to the goal? And let's really go to battle with that.
Yeah.
So we can move that out of the way and reach that goal.
Is getting out of the way, get that part out of the way, is that like eliminating that part, or is this how would you describe it?
It's either going after the negative belief that spins in the head and drives the life.
Yeah.
So that's a piece of it. And so how do we reshape that and shift that into a different mindset? And then practically speaking, how do you start to remove the barriers that maybe you've set in place, maybe even barriers that have kept you safe, that keep you stuck? And now what are you going to take with this? And so it's identifying like, okay, what's the goal? Where do you want to get to? What's the problem? What are those things that are in your life that are preventing you from getting to that place?
Right. Okay.
And then, that's what EMDR is about. That's what, kind of taking that negative belief system that's driving the car of your life, and how do we shift that? What I say to people is we can sit and talk about that intellectually, and intellectually you're going to tell me that, yeah, okay, I get it. I am good enough. You're right. I am worthy. I'm valuable. I'm lovable. I said, but you're going to leave my office and you're not going to believe it. And so what's really the point here? So let's go after some of those events in your life that are kind of frozen. It's almost like they're enshrined in your brain,
right,
unmoving. And let's kind of crack the glass and take them out. Let's, look at like, what's the part that's the worst part of that? People will say, well, there's this, chronic issue with criticism from my parent. And I'll say, I want the worst time. I want the worst time that ever happened. Let's not mess around. Let's just go. Because if I can get you to relieve that, and I can take that from a 10 down to a 0, it's going to change all the related events that might be, related to that or connected to that.
Yeah, it's like a domino effect.
Yeah. So
once you get started, right?
And it's just awesome to see somebody, really, it's taking that piece where, okay, you're the wise person, adult today. Go back to the person you were that day, however old you were. And you're in charge today. You have the power. You have the volition. Go. You have all the choices in the world. Go and help that kid out, or help that 20-something out, or to help that 30-year-old you out. And it's awesome to see people, go through that experience. Sometimes let themselves feel through it, or grieve through it, and come out the other side feeling better, feeling stronger. I mean, that's the key, is that you feel empowered at the end of the day.
Yes.
And then it's like, okay, so, and is your life then set up for you to take this new empowered feeling that you feel on a gut level, not just intellectually, out into the world and have a different way of doing things that's going to feel strange and unusual in your system, but is going to get you where you want to go. Because people can name I know where I want to get to. And then you're measuring, well, how possible do you really believe that is?
Right.
And then the hardest, obviously, are the people that, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. Those are the hardest ones.
Well, those are, on the client side, they can certainly have that attitude. But then I think they go back often to a world that says, well, did you really change? You're probably not going to stay with it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a system that's designed to keep us where we were, even though everybody says we want things to be different, and the people around us say, we want you to be different.
Well, yeah, we're dealing with homeostasis, because nobody really likes change.
We don't.
And so, and we have this muscle memory that it's like, I'm used to this. And so, I always, when I do that group on Thursday, I'll say, okay, so now you're going home. And so you're going to be tested.
Yeah.
And of course you're going to be tested. That's part of the deal.
Yes, it is.
And you won't really know you've shifted unless you've been tested.
Right.
So
there's always learning.
Right.
In the challenges.
And so that's where I think therapy is meant to be very strength based. It's meant to be something that moves and shifts. So.
Yeah, I think most people wouldn't say, well, you're not focusing on my strengths, you're focusing on my challenges.
We got to start somewhere.
Yes, we do.
You can't just get to jump the strength and not deal with the challenges.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So where do you think you're headed professionally?
Another question like that.
It's kind of what I do. I ask them questions. It gives you choice to do what you want to do, however you want to answer it.
I mean, I love what I'm doing right now, and so I think I'm going to keep doing that.
Okay.
I'm an empty nester this year coming up.
Yeah.
So maybe just, more of it, or, we talked about maybe traveling and going places and doing more spot work with people.
Yeah.
That seems exciting to me.
Yeah. I'm convinced that either that or something else will come up with you because you're always in change. You're always growing.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's a really nice quality. What is it about working at PCS? It just, what are you finding it's like working here for you? I think you mentioned a little bit about that, but how would you describe your experience here?
I mean, it's been awesome. I've been here since 2012, so
yeah,
I
love that.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it allows me to do what I think my strengths are, and and it allows me to see change in people. So,
I think both those things are huge.
Mm-hmm.
As we get to do the things that we enjoy most doing and probably most comfortable doing and energizing to us, and we get to trust the people we're with. Yeah,
and I think a lot of therapists struggle because they have more of an isolation factor that they're dealing with that we don't have here.
Yeah.
We all are a team system, so we get to bounce ideas off each other, and it keeps our, it keeps us flexible, and it also helps us grow because we're learning, oh, I love how you approach that, different than I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
And so it keeps everything kind of fresh and alive in ways that I think you can get in ruts. And so, kind of the idea of therapy out in culture right now, I think it gets a bad rap, but there's some truth to it where, I think a lot of people can get stuck in how they do therapy. And so the clients, therefore, can get stuck in a process that might not be moving or might not be innovative enough. And I think, kind of the blessing we have here is that we get 25 minds working all the time.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome. And
it's awesome.
And I think PCS is known for, the biggest things I've learned here is that the client is capable. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to go after big things. Don't be afraid to challenge or carefront a client that they can do something that they're telling you they don't think they can do. And, so it's that aspect, I think, is what I hope PCS always hangs on to because I think it's powerful.
Yeah, agreed. Well, thank you for taking the time. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Nice talking with you.
You too.
All right, bye-bye. Please press the subscribe button, as well as rating and providing a review of our podcast. This helps others to connect with what you have been hearing. If you have any questions, please contact us at themindofatherapist@gmail.com. These questions will be kept anonymous. I want to thank Eric Price for the wonderful music you hear in this podcast. Additionally, this podcast was created to provide accurate and authoritative information on the subject matter. Although we are interviewing licensed therapists, they are not your therapist. This podcast is not intended to serve as direct medical advice and should not be used as a substitute for direct professional help. It is given with the understanding that neither the host, publisher, guest, or PCS are rendering legal, medical, or clinical professional information. If you need a professional, we encourage you to find one. Visit Psychology Today to find a licensed clinician near you.